Um, the key character in my film is Louise. She plays a sort of she sort of starts off as an innocent kind of girl, but she sort of turns into this sinister, evil character. She's similar to the character in Paranormal Activity, although both characters dress completely different. There are similarities in the role they play, as they both begin their role as an innocent bystander who becomes this victim of a sad and evil spirit. However, they both become this sinister, possessed kind of character. The appearance for both of them is completely different, where my character is already got that sort of evil look about her. She's sort of got the sort of typical kind of emo look, I guess. And the character in Paranormal Activity has a quite innocent look about her. I guess the difference in character, it's like the way they dress and their appearance are completely different. However, their role in both of the films are very similar. Okay, so my typical target audience would be kind of between teenagers and upwards kind of thing, to a limit like 25, because a lot of film sort of, although it doesn't show much, it's sort of implied, and to, I don't know, yeah. Okay, my target audience would be to sort of everyone really, between the ages of about 12 up to however, because the content is not graphic at all really, you don't see much. Also it's kind of, I don't know, people, I mean, I don't really have a particular kind of person that would watch it, like I'm assuming kind of the sort of emo kind of people like that, the, you know, the heavy metal listeners, stuff like that, because they kind of, their music sort of fits their film taste kind of thing, and it kind of makes it, I don't know, it's like sort of when you do something and, like, if you listen to a song of music, you're stereotyped to watch that kind of film, so I guess that's what makes me think that that kind of person will watch it. I guess if you like the TV programmes of like the sort of Alfred Hitchcock movies, stuff like that, because you don't see much but it's implied and it's similar to the way my film would be. I guess you'd shop anywhere really. It's definitely for the kind of person that sort of would rather sit around in all day watching movies, the kind of house hermit, rather than the person that's like, I'm going to watch it because of the special effects. It's definitely for someone who bases what they watch more on the acting than the special effects and stuff like that, because I don't think this kind of film will go down very well with the special effects. Yeah, that's it really. My production company is called Little Devils Productions. This is because of the genre it will mainly make, and it sort of acts as a warning to the audience that you know, it's going to be horror films, it's going to get you on the edge of your seat kind of thing. Because Little Devils is like horror, and like it's like the devil sort of inspired the films himself. The logo also is part of the link between the genre and the company producing them. It's sort of like a hand, like a forensic hand, and the red writing. Red writing symbolises blood, which is always common in horror films. And the hand is sort of, it's black, so it's sort of mysterious, you don't know who it is, which also links with the film. They're all of a production company, maybe that means it's directly responsible for fundraising for the production. It can accomplish this with a partner or private investor even. There we go. It handles the budgeting, scheduling, scripting, hiring actors for the right roles. The resources like the props, the location release and stuff like that. The production itself, it handles the post-production, which is like the actual filming, paying for the props, all that kind of stuff. The distribution of the film, so like where it goes, who gets copies, stuff like that. And the marketing of the film, which is obviously important. You know, if you don't shout about the film's not going to go anywhere, you're not going to make any profit in the end. Normally production companies are owned or under contract from media conglomerates, film studio or motion picture companies. they act as the production company's partner to help the film distribute better, and obviously the production of the film's quality, stuff like that. I would like to think my film like mine would get picked up by small distributors like Screen Time Films, who distribute small indie horror films, which is similar to mine. They've done like Zombie Field, stuff like that, films that aren't big but they get their success and make their profit in the end. Screen Time Films tend to make films with the internet, which would be less costly, so it'd be, you know, if the film doesn't get enough fundraising, we can still market it to an audience. More effective as well, because most films are streamed on the internet now, and obviously to pay for a film to go to cinema, yeah, it's going to take a lot of money, and it'd be better if they're streamed onto the internet. People can watch it in the comfort of their own home, which more people prefer now. Not many people really go out to the cinema and stuff like that to watch films. Screen Time Film would be an ideal distributor for a film like mine, as I mainly do the original indie horror. It would give a film like Drifters more of a chance to become something and become something people watch and people think, well, you know, which might get the production company, Little Devils, more of a chance to make some more films and stuff like that. I'm guessing the money and funding would come from small time TV channels, or especially in the UK, stuff like that, like Channel 4 and Film 4, stuff like that. You know, small, they show films that don't really normally get picked up by the cinema, so online films like Netflix and stuff like that obviously stand more of a chance to go on to like Channel 4 and Film 4 and that, because they don't really get chance for screenplay on in big time things. Most titles in the film are like the major roles of the production of the film, and usually go in order of the key production and then the cast members and stuff like that. Mine reflects this quite well because I watched a couple of films and saw how they did theirs like that, and you know, most of them just use bold writing and stuff like that, so that's what I did. Obviously you got the executive producer, sort of overall kind of guy, you got the producer, then the director of photography, who wrote the story behind it, how did you get to that, who wrote it, and then you've got your writer obviously and your key cast members, so that would be like who the stars are, and obviously films like mine don't have star appeal in them, so they don't have a very big audience without star appeal in them. So yeah, Redemption Films produce and distribute similar films to mine, like Girl and Ecstasy. Redemption Films tend to take them viral instead of trying to flog them to a big blanket audience. They sort of focus on a small audience and make them want the film, which is what mine would do. They normally take them straight to the streaming platforms, DVD, stuff like that. I mean, most people, when you're looking at a indie film, won't go to the cinema and watch it. They'll prefer to stream it through Netflix, the internet, sites like that, or have it on a copy of a DVD. So the typical target audience for my film would be the kind of like horror nerds, people that like the realistic touch rather in a non-realistic way. It would mainly be based around like young teenagers or indie horror film fanatics, so people that like collect indie films and listen to the sort of eerie sort of music or and soft music, stuff like that. It's aimed at people that don't really like
Two things.
Yeah.
You should have waited till I'd finished in there for a start, because now you're going to have the toilet ring thing on it. And the other thing is, you're not talking clearly enough. You're talking like you normally talk. And you need to talk more clearly, because they got to listen to it, and all it'll sound is like... There you go. Start again.
The typical target audience for my film would be horror nerds, people like the realistic touch in a film in a non-realistic way. It would be aimed at young teenagers or people that like the indie horror films. It's mainly aimed at the type of people that would collect original indie horror films, people that listen to that eerie sort of soft music, soft rock, stuff like that, and people that base a film more on the acting and the time and production that went into it rather than the amount of special effects compiled into the film.